All right, well, here's part 2 of the Trash Find Toro GTS recycler. This one here is a 2006, and we got it out of the trash. We actually talked to the guy. The guy said it probably needs an air filter and a spark plug, and it hasn't run in a while. But by looking at it, it smells like the carburetor is going to have to come off. We're probably going to have to clean that, but we have no spark. We've tried 2 different spark plugs. It has no spark. And it does have good compression. So we also just happen to have this trash find. This is a 2005. They're identical, except this one says GTS and this one says guaranteed to start. Promise. Okay. This lawnmower runs and works, but somebody took all the gears out of the front tires, so it's just a push mower. This one's still complete. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go ahead and pull this cover off. We've got 3 screws. They're a 1/4 inch socket. This here, 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 and here. We're going to take this off. We're going to get the top cover off. And we're first going to check and see if there's something wrong with this brake mechanism that's shorting out the coil, because we're not getting any spark. If that is okay and we're still not getting any spark, then we're going to go deeper. And then what we're probably going to end up doing is taking the coil out of that one, so we know that one's good and runs. Take the coil out of that one and put it in this one, because this one seems complete, that the drive system's all ready. So we're going to get this cover off and get down in here and start checking this brake mechanism to see if that's what's causing the no spark. So we got the cover pulled off. We're going to lift the gas tank off. And now we're going to have to take this off. These are 5/16 bolts. You really can't see the brake and the wiring, so we're going to have to get this off. And then there's 2 more bolts up here, which look like they're probably either 10 millimeter or 3/8. So let's get this cover off, and we'll continue on. All right, so we got the bolts out of this. Got the dipstick loose. There's a screw over there also. So we're going to lift the whole pull start up out of the way. And now we can get a better look over here at the wiring for the coil. So this motor should not have points underneath. It should just be a electronic. But wait a minute. Yeah, it only has 1 wire. So the 1 wire goes in there. I wonder what shorts the ignition out. Pull the bar that's supposed to work that. Okay, there it is there. All right, loose. Okay, yeah, the mechanism. This is a little bit different. This is a Tecumseh engine. This isn't a Briggs & Stratton. The Briggs & Stratton engine, the ground cable actually hooks down here. This is a Tecumseh engine, so it actually grounds out up underneath the flywheel. We might have to take the flywheel off to see. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and disconnect the wire here at the coil, because that should be the grounding to keep it from running. Now that we have that unplugged, we'll go ahead and check for spark. So let me get this set up for to check it for spark, and we'll go from there. Did you see the chipmunk run that way? All right, well, let me get this set up, and we'll check it for spark to see now that we have this disconnected, because what's supposed to happen is this grounds out the ignition. So with this unplugged, we should have spark now if there's something wrong with this. All right, let me get set up, and we'll come back. All right, we put the pull start lid back on just loose. I'm going to hold it down. We have a spark plug in here, and we're going to see if it has spark. I'm going to have G Junior pull it over, and we'll see if it has spark. And you've got the thing pulled anyway, right? The brake pulled. All right, he's got the brake pulled too. All right, go ahead. Again. Okay, we're still not getting any spark. So next thing we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and sand down the magnets. And just to make sure that that's not an issue. I don't think so. They look pretty clean. We're probably going to end up taking the other magnet out of the other mower and put it on here. All right, hey, I got my little blue blower on over there because it is like super humid today. So sorry if you're picking up that noise. So we went ahead and sanded the magnets down on the flywheel, and then we also sanded the pickup here. Now we have a drill, and we're gonna see if it has spark. So go ahead. Hey, can you see it? It's got spark now. We have spark. So maybe the only thing wrong with it is this was bad. So let me go ahead and plug this back in and make sure we still have spark, that there's not a problem with that off thing. All right, do it again. And all right, we still have spark. You know, it doesn't look like it's the best spark, but maybe what we'll do is we'll check the spark on that machine to see what it looks like, to make sure they're about even, because maybe this coil is just beginning to go bad and it has a little bit of spark but not enough. So we'll check the spark on that one to see if it's the same strength as the other one. Okay, so off camera we went ahead and checked the spark on that machine, and it has the same spark as this machine does. So this machine didn't have any spark. As you see, G Junior here, he's cleaning up all the pickup points on this one, and including the two magnets here. So we're cleaning those magnets, we're cleaning the two end pieces, and we're going to clean up that center piece right there. That's probably the most important thing, is the center piece. So he's cleaning that stuff up. So now that we have spark and we checked this, we plugged this back in, it's working. It's not, the wire isn't rubbed through over here. We'll go ahead and put the top, actually we might not put the top of the machine back on yet. I think what we might do is go ahead and pull the float bowl off the carburetor, since it's easier to get to. And we're going to take a peek in there, because after we put gas in this machine, the gas did not smell that good. So we'll pull the float bowl off next. To check that, we'll have to tighten this plug up, because I just have it in there finger tight. He's still cleaning up the magneto on this, and we'll see if we can get this one up running and see if this one is in better shape than that one, since the front wheel drive, the power drive system on that isn't working because somebody's took all the guts out. Okay, we haven't put anything back together yet. We're going to go ahead and pull the float bowl off. Now, the tank had no gas in it. So my son, we put a little bit of gas in. We were trying to get it running before. So G Junior, my son, went ahead and dropped the gas out that we put in it. And you can see all that dirt that was in the tank. So we're definitely going to have to clean that tank out. And we are going to reuse this gas. There's nothing wrong with this gas. We get a coffee filter and we'll drain that and put that back in. So let's go ahead and get the float bowl off. We need a 1/2 inch or 13 millimeter wrench. And you reach up underneath and you turn the bolt counterclockwise. Now this bolt is also the jet, and of course gas is going to run out, so you want to have a rag handy. Good job on the rag. And it does not smell good. The new gas that got put in there does not smell good at all. So we might have to pull the whole carburetor out. Oh yeah, here's number 2 problem. That hole is clogged. I can see that from here. That hole is clogged. This is pretty nasty in here. Let me get this down and we'll take a look. Oh yeah, look at the stuff floating around in the carburetor. It's like that jelly stuff. I don't know where that jelly stuff comes from. And then I see a little bit of water and the fresh gas that we put in. Yeah, this carburetor is going to probably have to come off here completely. Let's take a look here. Well, the float's not stuck. The needle's moving. Actually, that doesn't look too terribly bad in there. I don't want to grab the camera. My hands are all... Can you give me another rag, please? Thank you. Surprisingly, how bad that the float bowl looks, this actually does not look too terribly bad. So we have a choice to make. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get a mirror and I'm going to look up in here and see if anything's in there, because it looks like, I don't know, this jet is awfully clogged up. We have a choice to make here. Either do a complete cleaning or a mini clean. I think we're going to go ahead and start doing a mini clean on this. We have our torch tips cleaner. That just fell on the ground. No problem. Here. And we have what? Carburetor cleaner, gum cutter. Carburetor cleaner. And we're going to clean this up. We're going to clean that nasty stuff out of the float bowl. We're going to put it back together and just let's see if we can get this one running, because we don't even know if this thing has a rod knock. Was there oil in this?
Yeah, it was nice and clean. It was at the proper level.
Okay. The oil was clean and full, so that's a plus. It does have good compression. So let's do a mini clean on this, clean up this jet, clean up the float bowl, clean up the gas tank, and we'll continue on and see if we can get this one up and running. And then we can go ahead and put the top back on. So probably by the time we come back, we'll have the top put on and we'll start cleaning the carburetor up. All right, well, we got the pull start back on, the gas tank on, the cover back on. We pulled this one jet out of the carburetor right here and cleaned it up. And there is the float bowl now. You can see that the water has eaten through a little bit, but it doesn't appear to be leaking. And then this is cleaned up. We actually used the carburetor cleaner, soaked it for about an hour. And of course, this gasket keeps falling off the carburetor. So we're getting ready to put the carburetor back together. Basically, this just goes back up. You want to make sure that the float is free and moving, which it is. And you want to make sure that is where the hinge is. All right, let me get this back together and we'll see if we can get this thing up and running. All right, we got the carburetor on. We put some gas in it. Nothing seems to be leaking out, which is good. So we haven't tried starting it yet, so let's see what happens here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's just do 10. All right, hold on, let me up. And the drive wheels work. Oh, give it a try. Let's see what goes on here. Watch that stump there. Well, there you are. Carburetor was clogged up. It had no spark. We cleaned the magneto. We got that up and running. We're going to get it back over on the bench, and we're going to pull this cover off and clean all the grass out. Did we even check to see if the blade was sharp?
No.
We still need to find out the blade is sharp. But I think we're going to end this one right here. We got it up and running. The guy gave it to us. He said that it needed a spark plug. It hadn't run in a while. Come to find out, it didn't have spark. The magneto was dirty. We cleaned the magneto up, got that up. The carburetor was dirty because it's been sitting for a while with gas in it. We cleaned the gas tank out. The drive seems to work good, right?
Yeah, I might be keeping this one myself.
So I think we might be keeping this one, and we'll sell off the other one that the drive is broken. All right, everybody, we're going to let it go at this one. We got another one up and running out of the trash. Remember to subscribe. You can always do that right there in this corner. Please share, and we'll catch you all later. Thanks a lot.